Graeme, we'll start with your US Open qualification. Just your thoughts of being back on the major championship stage.
Yeah, I didn't realize kind of quite how much it meant to me until, kind of getting through and starting to think about it and getting excited about it. It's been 6 years since I played my last US Open. We were just chatting. It was COVID, winged foot, Bryson, bomb and gouge, tough golf course. But, so many great memories. And I think one of the interesting things was, there's not a lot of parity in the majors. The other three majors, guys get to go back pretty much, into their 50s. The US Open's obviously only a 10-year exemption, and would have been nice these last few years to have that into the schedule, go back, get the confidence and get the memories and get the emotions of going back to a US Open. But I've been to all the qualifiers since my exemption ran out. I've been trying to grind, trying to get through and go there and prepare and try and do my best, and missed by one a couple of times, and thought maybe it was never going to happen again. But, obviously snuck through there a couple of weeks ago in Dallas by one, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to a US Open. It's going to be a good time.
You've obviously achieved a lot. You've won a US Open, you've won Ryder Cups. At this stage of your career, what's fueling you to enter these qualifiers, to keep trying to qualify for the majors?
I mean, I think the day that I wake up and that I don't feel that I want to compete, that I don't feel like I want to grind to try and get better, that's the day when I'll know it's time to go do something else. But, LIV has given me a great runway the last 3 or 4 years to remain competitive, get up in the morning to try and work for something, give me a chance to extend my career, perhaps maybe a few years longer than I would have been. I felt like in 22, I felt like I was going through the motions a little bit in the PGA Tour, starting to kind of think about the next chapter. And then this tour came along and has given me an opportunity to extend and work hard and continue to grind and play and compete. And I still feel like I'm good enough. I'm certainly not going to Shinnecock trying to make up numbers. I feel like, US Open style golf courses, drive it well, get it in play, and, windy and kind of linksy out there in Long Island a little bit. So I feel like there's a lot of reasons why that I can compete there. And like I say, I wouldn't be going to these qualifiers if I didn't feel like I was still good enough to be up there on the board come Sunday.
Will you be putting your name in the hat for Birkdale as well? Will you be trying to qualify?
Yeah, I'm going to sing ports here a few weekends from now. So again, I've been to every Open qualifier, I think, in the last several years as well. And last year I was trying to qualify for Portrush at Cinque Ports, and I kind of had it by the scruff of the neck with 9 holes to go, and I felt like I wanted it too badly. I couldn't quite get it across the line. Back in my late 20s, I was 4 for 4 on the 36-hole qualifiers, 2 US Opens at Walton Heath and 2 Opens at Sunningdale, and I felt like I was really good at those 36 holers. It was nice to get the monkey off my back a little bit a few weeks ago because I felt like I had lost my touch a little bit. But, go to Cinque Ports with a little bit of a renewed confidence in my ability to get through and hopefully play another Open Championship.
You said at the start of the season you were really hungry to get your first win on LIV. Is this the kind of course that you think gives you a chance? Not so long and accuracy at a premium here? For
sure. I mean, just played 9-hole practices. You can probably tell in the video it's pretty windy here today. It's blowing kind of 20 mile an hour to the west, and this is a golf course where I've won before, back in 2010, Andalucia Masters. Good memories here, and for sure, when I look at the LIV schedule, I look at venues like Hong Kong, Valderrama as golf courses where I can compete and play well. And there's no doubt I didn't quite have what I needed last week in Korea, but grinding away, and obviously we'll be trying to get ready for this weekend.
How's it being an honorary Oklahoman, joining the Oklahoma Golf Club? Obviously a rebranded team in a different direction for the league, having a sort of anchored team in the States. How do you think that's working with Taylor taking over?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Taylor's a fantastic player. Obviously showed how good a front runner he is last week again in Korea, just missing out in the playoff. He's a really good player, and he's a really well-connected kind of guy in Oklahoma. And I think it makes sense to have a base, to have a geographical location where you can build a franchise from. And obviously, I'm happy to be part of his team and do whatever I can to try and make OKGC a great franchise in the future.
What's your take on the situation at large for the league? Obviously, uncertainty at the moment with where the money's going to come from for next year and beyond. What's your impression of everything, and how optimistic are you that the lights will be on next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm optimistic. I feel like when you've got guys like Bryson in the room really trying to work hard to try and brainstorm where we need to get to. Clearly, it may look and feel a bit different, but I think there's a lot of optimism in the locker room, which I think is the key. I think something that Scott and his team have really been working hard on the last couple of months, is trying to be transparent with the players, try and get the players behind the drive forward. Clearly, it's going to be a bumpy road ahead, but there are some good visions. There's some good things that we're doing. Some great countries that we go to, amazing tournaments. The team thing, there's something there, and I feel like with the right minds and the right players driving this thing forward, that we can get it to a stage where we can get something going for next season. And obviously, I hope we can.
Bryson obviously has taken a particularly prominent role. I think he's been involved in some of the high-level meetings and pitches and things like that. How valuable is he to the league, not only as a golfer, but also the wider brand? And he's clearly got a lot of business interests and things that he's trying to grow away from professional golf as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly one of the most valuable players in the world. I mean, maybe himself and Rory. I mean, pretty tough to not put those guys in at least the top 3 or 4 most valuable golfers on the planet. And can you build a tour around a guy like Bryson DeChambeau? Yeah, absolutely you can. And there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of depth out here. A lot of great players that believe in what we're doing. And like I say, perhaps it doesn't look like it looks today. But I think, we have a lot of things that we're doing right. And, clearly we got to streamline, be a little shrewder maybe in some of the business that we're doing. But, taking the players that we take all over the planet, I think it's a strong starting spot. And, hopefully we can get it to the line.
Yeah. You've been here since day one, really. What are the learnings you think the league needs to take from these 4 years into the future to remodel, reshape, and sort of stabilize the league?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to just strip out the things that we do well. The team golf, potentially we want to focus more on the team golf. I think potentially the viewer at home gets a little kind of confused between golf's very individual nature and the fact that we're trying to amplify the sort of team structure. And I think, in my opinion, the team thing is, what's different and what's compelling about it. I enjoy the team element, and I think we maybe need to turn the volume up on that a little bit and tell that story a bit better, and perhaps have more of that head-to-head team championship concept. The countries, some of the venues that are really strong. South Africa was obviously a new one on the radar this year, and it really showed that we can go to places, markets that really, really want and are crying out for us a little bit, and try and find more markets like that. It's to take like the personnel that we have. I think it's a great product to take to some great markets.
Will you be pushing Ireland's case, the island of Ireland, to have a LIV event, maybe a links event in the lead up to the Open?
I mean, I think there's a lot of great opportunity. If we can kind of get through the noise, get through the negativity, focus on the positives that we have out here. And I think from a player's point of view, one of the keys right now is just trying to keep the head down, play golf. I mean, I can't really control what's happening outside of the ropes right now, and for me, I'm just trying to be a valuable asset to the tour, trying to do my job, be a good pro, play the best I can, be a good player for my team, and like I say, for the league as well. And we'll see. Thankfully, we got some smart guys and some good players in the room driving it forward.
The DP World Tour's cut some deals with LIV players. Do you have aspirations to play more on the DP World Tour moving forward, Irish Open, etc.?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I was a little late to the game with the European Tour this past season. We spoke about a month ago. We had good conversations. We said we'd sit down in November and have a chat about what 27 looks like. Clearly, I need to know what the LIV schedule is going to look like, and I'd like to take my European Tour membership back up potentially again in 27 if I feel like I can do a good enough job for them whilst doing the job that I want to do for LIV Golf as well. So we'll see. TBD. I think the fact that lines of communication are open, player deals were had, and I think that's definitely a step in the right direction.
How much does it mean to you, the DP World Tour, the European Tour, and the platform it gave you?
I mean, listen, I'll always be thankful for, like you said, the platform that the DP World Tour gave me back in the beginning. I mean, I feel like I owe, everything that I achieved in the world of golf to that tour, and it was always interesting. Back in the 2000s. Going from the European Tour to the PGA Tour was something the DP World Tour, they didn't really like that. They wanted to retain their players, keep them on European soil. you know, things have changed a lot now. They give 10 cards away to the best 10 players in Europe. And if that had been there when I was 25, I'd have probably been gone to the States a lot quicker than I did. But, you know, I'll always, like I say, be thankful, and there'll always be my roots will always be in Europe. And I look forward to hopefully playing some more golf there in the future.
Best of luck this week.
Thanks, mate.